filming a day in the life of a house sitter. I thought you guys would find this video really interesting because I don't think I've seen many of these videos around on YouTube, and I thought it'd be cool just for you to see what it's like to be a house sitter, what it's like what the routine is for feeding the pets, walking the animals, and also fitting in working from home, and then also having time to travel and do all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd just show you my day. Obviously every single house sit is slightly different because every house sit has different animals, they have different routines, they have different needs. But in this particular house sit, I'm taking care of 3 cats and 1 dog, and they are such well-behaved, amazing animals. It is 9 AM right now. Normally I start work around 8 or 9 in the morning, but I've decided I want to start at 10 AM every morning this week because the early mornings are just not good for me right now, especially in Spain because you tend to stay up later in Spain because things go on later on here. So I figured, you know what, just have later starts, later finishes, enjoy the nighttime more. So I'm starting at 10 AM this morning, so I've got about an hour left. We've just finished her walk and now I'm just about to head back and make some breakfast. So anyway, I'm going to cut this intro. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get on with the house sit. And of course we've got the most glamorous part of dog sitting ever, walking around with a bag of poo in your hand. So it's now my lunchtime. So normally I give myself half an hour lunch, but I decided to give myself an hour today because I want to make pancakes and I want to have a bit of a chill lunch and read a book. So I'm taking an hour, and I might book a few extra slots for this afternoon so that I'm working a bit longer to make up for the hour, I'm not sure. I quickly thought I'd answer a question about house sitting and teaching that I got. So I actually got a question off Miranda Blake, who has asked me a few questions in my previous Q&A, and she follows me on Twitter. Go follow her on Twitter, she's great by the way. She shares a lot of digital nomad advice stuff. So basically I said on Twitter that I was thinking of making a day in the life of a house sitter video, and she said it would be interesting to see particularly how you manage it alongside work. Like what if the dog barks in the middle of your teaching? So I just thought I'd take like 2 minutes to answer that question pretty quickly. So as you can see, the dog is right there on the sofa. So she's really well behaved. So far I've not had the problem of a dog barking during my lesson, but it really does commonly happen where I'll be taking care of a dog or even a cat, and when they're sleeping they often make noises in their sleep, especially dogs. So they'll start whining or barking or making some sort of noise when they're sleeping. The other day I had a cat playing with some stuff near the table that I was teaching, and he was making quite a loud scratching noise and stuff. Some of the kids that I have regularly, they know I'm a house sitter. Sometimes they'll say to me, what pets do you have this week? And I'll say to them, oh, this week I have a dog. And then sometimes if the dog is in the room, I will just turn the camera to the dog and be like, say hi to the dog, and then I'll tell them the dog's name and I'll be like, say hello, and then I'll get them to interact with the dog for like 30 seconds or sometimes just 10 seconds. So if it's a regular student, they'll know that I'm house sitting. If it's not, I'll just say it's my dog or my cat, and I'll just say, oh, the cat's being too loud. Do you want to say hi to the cat? And then I'll show you the kid the cat, and I'll be like, say hi kitty, say hi kitty, and they'll be like, hi cat, and then I'll be like, what does the cat say? And they'll be like, meow, and I'll be like, yeah, that's what cats say. If I've got a dog and it's barking, I'll do the same. I'll be like, oh, say hello to the dog, and then I'll say, what's the dog saying? And they'll be like, oh, the dog says woof woof, and we'll pretend to be dogs for like 30 seconds, and it's all usually fun. Usually they're little children and they love it, they find it hilarious, they love seeing animals. So normally I just kind of incorporate the animals with the lessons, so it's not so weird, rather than hearing some random noise in the background and them not knowing what it is. I usually just tell them and incorporate it in. If they're adults or like older teenagers, I normally just say, oh, mind the dog, he's being a bit loud, and they'll just laugh it off and think it's funny or whatever. So it's normally not a problem at all. You know, we're often talking about cats, dogs, you know, we're trying to spell the word cat, and I have like cat flashcards and dog flashcards, and I have like butterfly flashcards and all that kind of stuff. So incorporating animals into a lesson isn't that bad. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Miranda. Thank you for asking. I just thought I'd put it in here. yeah, so I'm gonna get on with the day. I'm gonna cook some pancakes, eat some lunch, and put this camera on charge. Okay, so it's now 4:30 p.m. I've finished lessons for the day. Finally, I'm finished with work, so get to relax and chill out. Believe it or not, I spent the last half an hour singing Christmas carols because one of my students chose to have a singing class, and it involved singing Jingle Bells and Frosty the Snowman for literally half an hour straight, so that was interesting. Also, I thought I'd mention something funny. So sometimes when I house sit dogs, when I'm teaching a class and the dog is in the room, a lot of the time when I, speak to the kids, especially if they're little, I'll be like, great job, well done, and I'll clap and I'll get all excited and I'll be like, oh, good job, awesome, nice work, and I get really, really enthusiastic. And usually if I've got dogs in the room, they seem to start jumping up and getting super excited because they think I'm talking to them. Like, the cats don't care, they're just like, whatever, they ignore me. But dogs, honestly, if you go, oh, great job, well done, yeah, to the kids, then the dogs will go crazy. So I have to try and tone it down a bit when I've got dogs in the room, it's quite funny. Okay, so just finished off near the lake, so now we're heading back home, and then we're going to feed the cats and water the plants. So yeah, every house is slightly different. Sometimes the animals don't really have a routine and it's really chill. These animals have a rough time. They like to be fed each morning and each evening and stuff, and there are rough times that they need taking out, the dog needs taken out for a walk and stuff, so obviously we abide by the routine. There are days when we don't have to always worry about sticking to the evening routine because the people we're house sitting for do have a friend that can come and help us out once or twice a week if we want to go out to the city or something, but this is what it's like for majority of days. We're just heading through the caves now, look, if you can see. This is the Los Cajarros trail, which is really popular. I might make some more house sitting videos for different places we go to, but yeah, this is what it's like here. Okay, I'm gonna end this here in the cave and see you when we get home. Basically, a little bit of background information. I work as a teacher and I always work during the daytime. Andy, on the other hand, he likes to work at night and he doesn't have any kind of online job that requires him to work at a specific time like I do, so he can work whenever he wants. So he likes to work during the night. He's a night person. He stays up working till like 4 or 5 in the morning. So Andy normally sleeps in during the morning, so I will take the dogs, or the dog, depending on how many dogs we're house sitting, out in the morning for their morning walk, let them go to the toilet before I start work. And then when I'm teaching around lunchtime, he will take the dog out for the toilet break, for a quick walk during the afternoon, and then once I've finished teaching, then we'll both go out together and we'll take the dog, or the dogs, depending on how many we're house sitting for, on a much longer walk. Hello everyone, so I'm just about to go to bed, but I just thought I would end this day in the life video. I'm really tired, it's like midnight now, and I have to be up in about 8 hours for work, so I'm going to head to bed in a minute, but I am going to read about half a chapter of my book, which is The Celestine Prophecy. I started reading it last night, so I'm going to try and read a few pages of that tonight before I go to sleep. So I literally just spent the last few hours on the computer editing a video. It's the house sitting FAQ video, so quite relevant to this video right now. So I've just spent like an hour editing that, and it got to the stage where I realised I wasn't going to finish it tonight. So I've just dropped it and I'm going to finish it in the morning before I start class, or maybe during my break or something I'll try and finish it. So Andy is just taking the dog out for her last walk of the night. We normally take her out again around 11 or 12 o'clock at night before we go to bed, just so that she can go to the toilet before bed. As you can see, there's a bit of a rhythm going here. I do the morning one when he's asleep, and then he does the nighttime one. Usually I'm already in bed by the time he's done this one. I hope you enjoyed this day in the life video. I hope that it kind of showed you what it's like to have the life of a house sitter. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and please hit the subscribe button and follow the journey of travelling and being house sitters and working online as English teachers and all that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.